Welcome to another episode of Mystic Mondays. I'm your host, Monica Bay, also known as the Healer in Heels, ready to bring you into the world of all things mystic. Join me for a journey of spiritual growth, enlightenment, and self-actualization as we explore the wonderful world of mysticism where no gifted soul gets left behind. If you'd like to call in live to the show, dial 678-495-4345. And now, get ready for Mystic Mondays with me, Monica Bay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mystic Mondays. So we are in a new year, and I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Healer in Heels. I am an energy healer, a psychic medium, and a spiritual teacher. And I named this show Mystic Mondays because I have a passion for mysticism and all things spiritual and helping people develop and evolve to their highest level. So that's what we're here to do today. So it is a new year. We are in 2020. And so welcome to 2020, first of all. And this year, 2020 is all about building new foundations. And because 2020, from a numerological standpoint, is a number 4. And number 4 is all about new foundations. So in 2020, it's about either being, walking upon and standing upon a foundation that you've already built in 2019, because 2019 was really all about manifestation. 2019 was a 3 from a numerological standpoint. So when I talk about numerology in a year, that's really talking about the energy that exists and that's available to everyone to use in potency for that entire year. So for 2019, the vibration was a number 3, which is all about manifestation. So hopefully a lot of you manifested great things in 2019. And for 2020, it's all about, building new foundations or standing upon the foundations that you manifested in 2019. So I'm really excited about 2020. We are in a new decade, which is crazy. I was born in the 1900s. That sounds crazy too. But we're in 2020. I'm really, really excited about everything. Today's show is really going to be a wonderful show. I have a guest, Kevion Devante, and he is going to come here and tell you all about, in the next segment, he's going to come here and talk all about sound healing. And today's episode is all about the physics of sound healing. So we're going to definitely get into that. And I'm really excited about this episode today. So now it is time for Mystic Message. Mystic Message. So as you all know, those of you who are new, those of you who aren't new, before every episode, I go into a deep meditation and I like to, see what message that the universe has for me to give to everyone today. I'm also a channel and I receive a lot of things and things come through me and speak through me. So funny thing is, the message that I received today is about healing, and that's perfect because today's episode is about healing. So the message that I received for all of you today, the mystic message today, is all about healing. And so as I said, we're in 2020 now. It's a new year. A lot of people have, New Year's resolutions. A lot of people are trying to create new things in their lives or make changes in their lives. And healing is so important. A lot of people think of healing as different, in different ways. So the part of the message today is really about getting to the root of your healing and making sure that you heal fully. A lot of people just heal, partly. And so when you're talking about healing, first of all, balancing your chakras is not enough for the deep healing that you need. When we're talking about really, really deep healing, balancing your chakras is definitely very helpful, and it definitely is something that you should do on a regular basis. And it can definitely heal you. But the type of healing that I'm talking about in this message today is talking about the deepest parts of you that need to be healed in order for you to achieve the things that you want to achieve in 2020. So a lot of times when we're trying to achieve things and we're not sure how we can do that, we end up holding ourselves back. There are things that are holding you back, and those things that are holding you back are within yourself. And so that's why I'm talking about a deep-rooted healing. So it's important to be able to get to the root of past traumas, to be able to get to the root of the things that are really, really holding you back. And the things that are holding you back in life, usually from my experience as a healer, when I look into people to see what's really holding them back, a lot of times, it's things that you don't even realize that are holding you back, things that don't make any sense that are holding you back. They don't make any sense to your logical mind, but subconsciously, these are things that you've been holding on to. So things from your childhood, traumas. It's interesting when we talk about trauma because a lot of times people think that trauma is something that's, horrible that happened to me. And it's something that you should obviously know when you think of what traumatic events I had in my life. But a lot of times the trauma that is really holding you back, the one thing that is the root of all of your problems in life, is something so small that you don't even consider a trauma. For instance, you being 4 years old and your parent, screaming at you because you did something wrong. That can be traumatic, and that can be something that creates a foundation of unworthiness, creates a foundation of you not believing in yourself, depending on what your parent is saying and depending on how you're reacting to that. Because trauma is really all about the reaction to circumstances and the reaction to things that are happening to you in your life and your environment. And so a lot of times people carry those traumas forward into the future, and they become a foundation upon which everything else stands and creates a lot of issues in your life. So when I'm dealing with people with trauma and things like that, through the energy healing that I do, it's about going deep, locating what that is that's causing, the problems. Mostly the trauma is usually the one thing that is causing not every single problem, but most of the problems in someone's life. For instance, if you're procrastinating, if you're having a lot of self-sabotage, there's definitely some, issues from your past that you're holding on to. And so when we talk about healing, we're talking about getting to the root of that and uprooting it and removing it. So a lot of times when people think of trauma, also they think of, okay, let me go to therapy. Therapy's not enough. I hate to tell you, but therapy is actually not enough. And the reason why is because when you're in therapy helps. I'm not saying it doesn't help, but I've seen people come to me after, seeing a therapist for like 20 years. And have they grown through that therapy? Yes. They have come to understand some of their issues. They have come to manage them. But the thing here is that you don't have to manage things for the rest of your life. I am all about removing that which is stopping you from your greatness. And so healing, when I talk about the deep healing is all about, the deep healing is about removing the energy of that thing that's inside of you that's creating these patterns, that's creating these problems. So this is a great message for 2020 because it's so important for all of you to understand that in order for you to become the best version of yourself, in order for you to allow your greatness to truly shine through, that deeper healing needs to happen. And that deeper healing lies in the energy. So that's why therapy is not a total solution. It's a part of a solution because sometimes we need to talk about things and understand them from an intellectual standpoint and a consciousness standpoint. But when we're talking about our subconscious and the things that are really going on with us from an energy standpoint, because remember, everything starts with energy. Your emotions are an energy. Your thoughts are an energy. And so when you have those energies sitting inside of you, blocking things, blocking your energy pathways, blocking your chakras, creating limiting belief systems and self-confidence issues, all of those things. When you have those things inside of you, talking about is not gonna make it go away. Talking about is gonna help you again manage it, and using techniques and stuff like that can help you manage it for the rest of your life. But you really need to get rid of the actual energy. And if you get rid of the energy that's causing it, again, getting to the root of the problem, then the problem starts to heal, and then it becomes no longer a problem, and then you don't have to deal with it forever. So this is why the message today about healing is so important, especially for 2020, that if you are seeing a therapist, if you are using other methods of healing, energy healing is so important. And again, today we're going to talk about sound healing. There's a lot of different forms of energy healing. And the guest that I have on today is a sound shaman. And he's also a Reiki master. And so, using a lot of different types of healing. I also use shamanism and ancient Egyptian healing, and I'm a Reiki master and Kundalini master. I do a lot of things mixed in with the healing that I do. But the point is, get to the root of the problem, fix it, remove it so that you can move on and become the best version of yourself. So when I received this message, I was getting that really this needs to sink in deeply to all of you so that you can deal with the things that have been holding you back, because especially as you start to go into, New Year's resolutions and you're trying to reach these things. And sometimes we end up having, the same resolutions over and over again, right? This year I'm going to lose weight. This year I'm going to get rid of my debt. Those are like the most common ones: weight loss, debt relief. There's a lot of them, but those are like the kind of the most common ones. Also career and life changes. And so a lot of times if you have these same ones over and over again every year and you're not reaching those goals, there's something holding you back. And so it's important that you find out what that thing is this year so that you can build a new foundation. And that new foundation is stronger and better and allows you to actually, achieve the things that you need to achieve in life. So that's the mystic message for today. Hopefully that sank in. Hopefully it resonated with all of you. And I definitely want all of you to have a phenomenal 2020. Definitely. So I want to talk about the vibration of sound. Since today we're talking about the physics of sound, we're going to talk about sound healing. And I actually use sound healing in the work that I do as well, because I find that it is a way of very quickly and directly getting the correct vibrations into a person's body and their atmosphere. And so it's important to note that sound is a vibration. Sound itself is a vibration. And it's also a frequency. And so when you are using sound healing, and a lot of people use singing bowls, there's also drumming, there's a lot of different ways that you can use sound healing. But when you're healing people through sound, those vibrations reach the body, they reach the chakra system, they reach the energy system as a whole, and they're able to transmute certain energies because those vibrations are very strong, and they're able to really penetrate you and start to heal you. And we're going to talk way more about the science behind that and how that works when in the next segment. But the effects of sound healing on the body and the emotional state are extreme and extremely good. So when you are feeling sad, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling anxious, you can use sound healing to heal those things immediately. And it's a very, very quick results that you get with sound healing. And in repeated use over time, it's phenomenal. I mean, those vibrations, they come into you and they stick there and they stay there. And it helps to balance and recalibrate the energy system in the body. So as a mystic, you should always be interested in becoming the best version of yourself. And that starts with your energy. So that's why we talk about healing a lot on the show, because it's so important. And if you are to really reach the height of your mysticism, then you need to be as clear as possible. You need to be as balanced as possible. And that helps you, again, become the best version of yourself and build the right foundations. So also sound healing, sound goes through the air, and it also goes through water. It also can be recorded in crystals and glass. So, and then there's some other compounds as well, but sound has the ability to penetrate and can also be recorded. And so it's just excellent to use. Now, I want to talk really, really quickly about the history of sound healing, and we'll talk some more about it in the next segment. But sound healing is actually something that dates all the way back to Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt. They were able to use sound in many, many ways. There's a lot of things that we're still trying to figure out how they did certain things and how they were able to use energy to move things and things like that. So we'll talk more about that definitely after the break. But I want to let you guys know, definitely, if you have any questions or you just want to say hello, you can call into 678-495-4345. Also connect with us online, and you can follow us on all social media platforms. And if you're interested in my healing services that I offer that can really get to the root of your problems, go to monicabay.com and book a free consultation. And after this, we're going to have Kevion, and we are going to have a wonderful topic about sound healing right after this. Hey everyone, Monica Bay here, also known as the Healer in Heels. And I am so excited to bring to you a rare opportunity to experience a dynamic healing in person with me. I am here at Batch, where we are going to hold this event, and it is going to be amazing. During this 2-hour group healing, I am going to remove all those things that are holding you back in life, and then I'm going to set your energy to be in alignment for achieving your goals. I am a natural-born energy healer and psychic medium who has developed my gifts and magnified them over the past 25 years. This is a rare opportunity and space is limited. Hurry and get your tickets at the link below because this event is sure to sell out. Get ready to go on a journey of transformation, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome back to Mystic Mondays. And I am here with Kevion Devante.
Yes. Happy to be here.
Yes, I'm very, very happy to have you on the show. Kevion is a sound shaman, and he is here to talk with us about sound healing and the physics of sound healing. He can get really, really into detail, and we're going to really go dive deep into that topic today. So thank you for being on the show, Kevion.
You're welcome. No problem. I understand.
Awesome. So, first of all, I would love to know your personal definition of sound healing.
Sound healing is bringing natural harmonies back to the body, attuning the body to its natural rhythm and processes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about how that works.
Well, using the different harmonics that are present in the instrumentations, they resonate or sync up with the body's corresponding processes. And so in studying biological sciences, the body literally puts the music puts the body back in rhythm. So I think that's yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to describe it, definitely, because as I was saying earlier, those vibrations, they enter the body. And then, of course, as we know, sound, there's different vibrations, right? And they have different frequencies.
Yeah. Some you can't even hear.
Yeah, because they're not there. Yeah, because there's certain, I think, certain octaves that has, for our human ears to hear, it has to be 20 beats per second or something like that. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. So the ones that we can't hear, though, does that still? That
definitely.
Still affects our body,
definitely.
Right? Yeah.
Even as far as like conscious perception versus subconscious. You know, you walk outside and you hear cars beeping horns and people yelling, like that all affects you.
Yeah.
Even if you're unaware.
Yes. Yeah. So I love that you said that, because let's talk about how those things are, affecting people today. Really, the all the different sounds that we have, and even today's music. Because I know that music definitely has the ability to either kind of mess up your energy or set it to a good point.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a very deep topic, because it spans between generations and genres and cultures, because music muses us. Music is the process of becoming the puppet of the sound waves or entrainment. So
I like that. Music muses us.
Yeah.
That's a sound bite. We're going to
use it.
I like it.
And so like when it comes to like fundamental expressions like dance, or just merely the vocabulary and speech, is all influenced by music.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And then so for those of you who listen to angry music or anything like that, that's why when we meditate, we listen to calming music. We don't listen to angry music while we meditate, right? Because it does actually affect your body and your subconscious. Yeah.
It's like a pre-programming, you're tuning your body up for the play.
Yes. Yeah. So what history of sound healing can you share with us?
Well, like you said, it dates back to ancient civilization, Egypt, and all the other ancient cultures. But up until about the 8th to 12th century, we rediscovered sound therapies, and now up until the 1960s, ultrasound, and I mean even as far as our technological applications and as far as crystals go. But we're getting to that, so I don't
Okay.
wanna-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what get into ultrasound because that's interesting.
Yeah. So sound gives you a different depth of perception. And so you can expand on that either consciously or in the practical sense in the scientific methods or whatever. So the ultrasound actually makes things visible like infrared and
Yeah.
different spectrums that we can't perceive with our eyes that are present and that do affect us.
And ultrasound is using
Yeah,
that's why
and
it's called
so-
ultrasound.
right.
It's using sound waves
Right,
in
yeah.
order to be able to give a
Yeah,
visual.
and that the frequency of that sound wave it gives us a capability. Even X-rays are sound waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always find it interesting that in some Western science, they try not to pay attention or say they don't believe in energy and all the things that we know is true, that
Right.
we've known for thousands of years to
Right.
be true. But in the instruments, they're using it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, why they were created,
Yeah.
So you resonate with that frequency and you feel it, and that feeling is that conscious perception. That's that ability of you to know that you're more than your body. You are that fundamental essence of energy.
Yeah, and that is who we are at our very essence. It's
Right.
just simply energy.
Right.
And in the last year, I was talking about how we're just avatars.
Yeah.
And our souls are inside these avatars.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It gets trippy.
yeah, but that's literally what it is. It's
Yeah.
like we're these beings of light inside these avatars, and we're just kind of living a human experience. But who we truly are is that light
Right.
and the energy system that that's contained, and that's really what's running everything, not what we can see.
Right.
Yeah.
The incredible.
Exactly. So how did you get into sound healing?
Well, being a musician from the Mississippi Delta, I started off playing my trumpet about a decade ago.
Okay.
Marching in symphonic, in marching band, symphonic band, concert jazz. It really opened my mind up to how genres played a role in character and understanding just how people develop, and how music played a big part of that, even in the womb. So
That's true.
It got very interesting studying biology and biochemistry and all the sciences and relating that back to, the fundamental processes of how it plays out in physics. I was amazed. I'm like, wow, sound's doing this, the cymatics and the divine geometries. I'm like, okay, this is something.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that. What stood out to you in all of that you studied and the connection there?
Really the profound ability for music to mold and shape reality. Like everything's being held together by vibration. So, just like the opera
I
singer.
like the way you put that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Like the opera singer, she sings and she breaks the glass and she vibrates to that frequency that's holding that object together. So literally, whether it's inaudible or audible, it's all vibratory.
Yes. Yeah. And then to relate that, I also do some shamanism and specifically Native American too, but African shamanism as well. And I use rattles sometimes to break up energy.
Right.
So I like that you said that about breaking the glass, because there is certain vibrations that are holding the energy together, but those vibrations can be broken up.
Right.
And so when you're talking about even someone who's having pain somewhere, right? Pain is the collection of energy in one location, right? And it's sitting on your dendrites and which are nerve endings, and then you end up feeling that pain. But it's really what it really is a collection of energy.
And I'm so glad that you just said dendrites. Because as it really
We're nerds. We're having a nerd moment.
Right. And studying chiropractic, and as it relates to the nervous system is the most important system in the body. It gives you your sensation. It gives you your ability to perceive reality.
Yes.
So sound acts as a vital nutrient. It actually grows our brain in the fetus. I was mentioning.
Really?
So as we
I
take
didn't know
in
that.
the world around us, we're developing those different senses to be able to deal with it, and it's coming by way of sound.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love that.
It's amazing.
It is. So when we're talking about breaking up, energy and using, you can use sound healing to do that, right? To break through those, like when I'm giving the example of someone who has a lot of pain because there's trapped energy in one location. And, the sound vibration's able to kind of break through that, disperse it, and balance it out.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have any examples or stories of people that you have healed through sound healing that had a situation like that?
Oh yeah. At one in particular, when I was working here in the area, a woman she came in for weekly sessions, and she had just been in a car accident, and she was like, every time I walk in here, I walk out just a little faster. And I'm like, thank you for just sharing that, because
Yeah.
that's proof in just the regenerative methods of sound therapy and how it can rehabilitate in those ways.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And a lot of people also, I mentioned earlier about chakra balancing. And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't balance your chakras. You should definitely balance your chakras. But some people think of like sound healing or sound baths as just like a chakra cleansing thing, but it's way more than that.
It's mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, I mean, everything's connected. So you can't work on one system without affecting the other. So if
Definitely
you're working
true.
on your mind connects to your body. If you're working on your body, it's going to connect back to your mind and to your soul that inhabits the body. So it's no way around it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a totality of paratherapeutics.
Yes, holistic. Yes, the whole self. So when you were growing up, now you said that earlier you started playing the trumpet at what age?
Middle school, like sixth
Middle school?
grade. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so you started to get into musicality and sound then. And what and then when you said that you had discovered kind of that it had healing qualities as well, and especially with your scientific background and kind of putting all that together. So what was your upbringing like and your family dynamic with that, and how did they react to you choosing this as your career path?
Well, it wasn't too big of a shock. I think the only shock is how I applied it.
Okay.
Because music runs in my family. Like my granddad had his doctoral degree in music. My dad
Okay.
played saxophone, sisters, all that, and so we're band member family.
Okay.
But really get into the depth of it and the sacred science, it was just like, wow, you're really going that far with it. And I'm like, yeah, I know how to apply this logic in this, the abstract, and to make it rational and practical for people, and why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in awe. Yeah, I'm glad they still support.
Yeah. Well, no, that's great. And I think it's excellent what you're doing. And I like that you're, taking it to another level too. It's not just, it's not just playing, the singing
Right.
bowls and that's it.
Yeah.
But you're taking it beyond that, really understanding how it actually works from a science. Because I think that when you understand something from a scientific standpoint, then you can then be more innovative with that, what you're
Right.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I've been able to do with the energy healing, because I've developed my own healing modality, and just from really understanding how energy actually works, then I'm
Right.
able to kind of invent my own things.
Yep.
Yeah,
Your flow.
that's right.
Yep.
That's right. So tell me about your growth as a sound healer and what you've learned, because I know everyone has a journey, right? And so certain things that happen, especially when you're first starting out, you may learn like, oh, this does that. And so
Yeah.
what kind of challenges did you go through, and how did you learn?
Well, it was really interesting at first because, starting out with one genre of music, I would per se, typically cultural wise, I started to understand that certain frequencies actually resonated with different cultural groups differently. Not to say that everybody listens to one specific type of music, but it was very interesting to see how that made them develop, into who they are and that authenticity. So
Yeah.
that was one of my challenges first off, because, first getting into sound therapy, you're like, oh, everybody needs to listen to natural frequencies. Let's turn it up to this frequency, whatever. But yeah, now I'm just like, okay, the authenticity matters, the originality matters, and so
Yeah.
then that was my personal challenge into seeing this work through.
Okay. And you've been able to, heal
Yeah.
a lot of people, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And how long have you actually been doing the sound healing that you're doing now?
2014.
Okay. Nice. So we're going to get into more of that after the break. Also, I want to just say hello to our friends at WDJY 99.1 FM, and also to our friends at WTTA 101.2 FM in Kentucky and Ohio. And also, again, connect with us online on all social media, UI Media Network. And the UI Media Network is also looking for like-minded interns to assist in getting the network's message out. So you can email us at contact@UI Media Network or call 678-495-4345 to connect. And also follow me on all social media at The Real Monica Bay. And we will be right back after the break.
Hi, I'm Tim Ray, founder of the United Intentions Foundation, where we offer resources and programs to help others awaken to the power of their intentions. One of the ways we get this great message out is through our UI Media Network, which is a platform for people to share their stories and wisdom on air on how they live a life with intent.
2020 is the year of clarity, so help us activate more programming and resources that provide you with the information and education you need to see things more clearly. Raise the frequency with UI Media Network.
We are so grateful to this incredible cast of paradigm shifters who are authentically changing this world on a global scale.
Go to uimediaapp.com and donate today.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Andrea, and I'd like to welcome you to my show, The Soulful Family, addressing modern-day family dynamics from unique perspectives. We cultivate self-aware parents, discuss unconventional ways to raise conscious children, and create healthy family dynamics. I've had many spiritual experiences that have developed my intuition, and as a result, I've been supporting people awaken and return to their true selves through my techniques for more than 25 years. But my proudest moment? Raising my two sons, Hayden and Gabriel, into happy, healthy, and successful contributing members of society. And that is what has inspired me to create my show, a shift from power by force to a state of authentic power. And as we all shift from the old paradigm and embrace our true selves, our experiences of the physical world we live in will change. You can catch my show on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WDJY 99.1 FM and on WTTA 101.2 FM. You can also watch me on Facebook Live at United Intentions and listen to my show on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Talk10FM.com, and many other platforms. And don't forget to download the UI Media app at uimediaapp.com, where you can also listen and watch my show anytime from anywhere in the world. However you participate, as a listener, calling in live on air, or becoming a sponsor, let's create healthy, soulful family dynamics together.
Hello and welcome back to Mystic Mondays. Again, I am here with our wonderful, phenomenal guest, Kivian Devante. And what we're going to do right now is he is going to give you guys, again, today we're talking about energy healing. We're talking about sound healing specifically and the physics of sound healing. So Kivian is going to do a short demonstration of the crystal bowls and playing those crystal bowls so you can hear that vibration. So those of you who are listening or watching, you're going to receive some healing energy with this. Remember, sound is a vibration and it can penetrate, and it has no space and time.
Right.
Right? Yes. So no matter where you are, people, you're about to get healed. Okay, so he's going to show us. Also, we're going to talk about some techniques as well. So you can go ahead. Like it. So you all got a little bit of healing today. So now some people have a hard time playing the bowls because there's a particular kind of technique that you should do when you're moving your hand around it or moving the what is it called?
Mallet.
Yeah, the mallet around it. So can you give us some tips for people at home that want to actually try getting a set of crystal bowls and trying to play them?
Yeah. So what you want to do is take the mallet and tilt it diagonally over the on top of the bowl. Like your hand will be at the apex, kind of making a conal and pyramid shape. Then you want to apply light pressure around the bowl and just flow. You don't forget to breathe and just flow.
And why is the breathing important?
Because the breathing is your flow.
Right.
The breath is a spirit and it
Yeah.
gives us life.
Yes, yes. I always talk about breath because that's also a vibration. So the words
Right.
that we use, the things that we say,
Right.
those are sound and a vibration.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think one of the keys to what you just said is the light pressure, because a lot of people, when they're trying to play the
Right.
bowls, it's like they're trying to do it really hard.
Yeah, and you have to leave room for the resonance, and to see how you correspond. When I first started playing the bowls and being, led and through the skill sets, I couldn't play for like days. Like I would just go, and I'm like, what's wrong? Am I doing it right? But I realized that the sound was coming from within, and you only can hear the sound that you're able to perceive.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right.
That's interesting. Can you expand upon that a
Like,
little bit for people at home?
sound is that, like, remember when we talked about the expansion of consciousness and awareness?
Yes.
So if you aren't able to perceive it, you can't actually fathom or manifest it. And so I thought that was really profound into understanding the complete spectrum of our perceptions in terms of light, color, and everything else. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So another question that people at home might have too, because sometimes you have two different kinds of mallets, right? You have the one where you
The
kind
striking,
of gong,
yeah.
the striking, and then you have the other one. I never
singing
know what to call
one.
that. The singing mallet. So we're going to call it the singing mallet.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between the two, and when should you use each?
Well, interestingly enough, in terms of some of the hand hammered and metal bowls, some of them ding and sing differently. So it'll ding at one note, and then when you sing it, it sings at another note. Probably like a half step
That's true,
lower.
yeah.
And so that's one of the fundamental differences in terms of creating that wave. And in the intention, the striking has a one wave effect, whereas the singing is more concentric and vortex like.
Okay.
So and that vortex creates a washing and like a waving of the waves, whereas the striking creates just that breakup, like you were saying with the rattle.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
the striking is more so when you're trying to more direct it and with force,
Right, like,
and the singing
yeah.
is more of an expansive kind of smoother, less forceful.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great way.
It's
to
like
describe
swimming
it.
versus diving.
I like that. Swimming versus diving.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and because the singing bowls that I use in my healing are Tibetan singing bowls. They're the hand hammered ones, and you use crystal. So tell us why you chose to use crystal versus the Tibetan hand hammered.
Yeah. So, well, being a crystal Reiki master, I started understanding the importance of crystals and how they reflect our physiology. So I like to, actually consider crystals the bones of Earth. Yeah, as there are rocks, but they're ancient stones and
They
rocks
are.
that have that ancient resonance and that just wholesomeness. And so in terms of the metal bowls, the reason why I use the crystal bowls is because of the amplification and the lightness of the frequency. And with the crystal bowls, they work more in a spatial clearing, and the metal and hand hammered ones work in more auric cleansing. So it's like, range base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of the crystal bowls, and that's why when you go and see, you go to like a crystal bath, event or something like that, and they're playing the crystal bowls, the entire room is filled with that vibration.
Right.
Versus the Tibetan or just the metal bowls, and you're playing those, and they're more directly targeted to a particular person.
Right,
They
or
have-
area.
Yeah, and they have less expansion, right?
Right.
Okay. And I definitely feel the difference, though, also between. Can you talk to the difference between in the vibration of kind of the tonality of the vibration versus with the crystals versus
The metal ones and the hand hammer ones are like heavy earth grounding frequencies, even in whether they're crown third eye or what.
Yeah.
But the crystal ones are very etheric, and they work in tandem with the electromagnetics in the room. And so when you create that piezoelectric effect and you're playing the bowl, that vibration that you're causing is resonating and interacting with those electromagnetics, charging the air and giving you that energy.
Okay, nice. So when you want to change the energy in your home, for instance, right? That's a great way. Using a crystal bowl is a great way to really expand that energy and that frequency. And then again, once that frequency goes out, and it stays there until something else interrupts it.
Yeah.
Right.
And you just said that so beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because frequency is what you frequently do, and currency is what you're currently doing. And so it's a production of the wave. We're riding the wave of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that. Oh, we're vibing so well. We're going to high five. We like the high five.
Yeah.
So I want to talk some more about the crystal bowls, and also, you know, what makes you so passionate about the sound healing.
Understanding it in my own, like, generational, I guess, molecular, cellular, you know, DNA, like how it's been a legacy for my family, and transmuting that into a more beautiful, well, not more beautiful, but just keeping the wheels turning, you know, bettering the process. You know, my granddad, he traveled the world as a gospel musician.
Okay.
So his effect on the spirit, learning from that and learning about, you know, how my dad was able to logically deal with people and his mechanics and processes. It's like, you know, tying that together and using that scientific mind that I know that I have and that I'm capable of with my arts. It just feels good, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's how you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep, it just feels good.
Yeah. And I noticed that you have an M on your hand.
Yeah.
On your actual palm of your hand.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Sure do.
Yes.
Look at.
And I have an M as well. The M is all about people with M definitely have spiritual gifts.
Yeah.
And then they're also leaders.
Wow.
Yes. So that's awesome. That was just random.
Explains some stuff.
I just noticed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it explains a lot. But that also says that, you know, you're doing what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah, I feel that way. Yeah.
So speaking of spiritual gifts, were you born with any healing abilities, or is this more learned?
I feel like I've always had like a very extremely abstract imagination when it comes in terms of visionary work. I first started off in photography and things. So, and even just being a kid, playing outside, you know, being that weirdo, you know, oh, what is he over there doing? You know, who, you know, it's just that really cultivated it. It was just that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So tell us all about you have an event coming up, right?
Yeah, so I have 2 events coming up in Mississippi. One on the 19th and 20th in Jackson and Ridgeland, Mississippi. It's a crystal healing sound bath workshop.
Okay.
And we have a root chakra meditation. It's going to be a 7 series at Mama Nature's in Ridgeland. Well, Jackson.
Okay.
And the first one is going to be at Epic Dance and Fitness in Ridgeland, Mississippi. So I have an event coming up here on the 26th at Southwest Atlanta Yoga. Okay. And it's the Shamanic Sunday service. And it's been doing awesome, so I'm looking forward to seeing people come out.
So what is the Shamanic Sunday service?
So we go through...
I like the sound of it. I know that.
We go through just the naturalness of being in every element, every form, just pure creative expression, and just a place to be. We're human beings, and we really forgot how to be. And that's one of the most important.
That's so true.
Yeah,
that is so true.
Like we're humans living, we're humans doing. We're not ever being, and that being is really important to our health and wellness.
Yes, yes. Okay, so is this Shamanic Sunday something that happens every Sunday?
It has been,
Yeah?
for the past couple months now.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So tell everyone how they can find you and everything that you have going on.
Well, you can find me on Instagram. It's my first and middle name, Kevion Devante, KEVION.DEVANTE. And then that's the same thing on Facebook, and you can find us on Facebook at Living Energy as well.
Okay, awesome.
I'm working on another website.
Okay, you're working on another website. That's good. So one last thing, I would love to know from you, since this is Mystic Monday, what a mystic means to you.
Authentic expression and just understanding yourself as the soul that you are, not being bound to the limitations of what you are, what you think you are, rather than just becoming and transmuting that energy and knowing the power of the alchemy and how you're able to bend those elements.
Yes, that's awesome. I love that definition.
Thank you.
Yes, and that's what's really it's all about. It's about transmuting and raising your vibrations to a higher level, and that's what helps you become the best version of yourself.
Right.
So as we step into 2020, that's amazing, and that is definitely needed.
Yeah.
So thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being
Thank you
on
for
the show.
having me.
You're welcome. And right after this, we're going to talk some more. We're going to get into some more detail about sound healing and all of that. But again, if you have any questions or would just like to say hello, you can give us a call at 678-495-4345, and we'll be back right after this with Mystic Monday.
Life Mastery with Monica Bay, the podcast that helps you heal your soul, find your truth, and live your purpose. Deep insights into life, relationships, finance, business, spirituality, and more. Learn to master every area of your life for total fulfillment. Monica Bay, also known as the Healer in Heels, uses her many spiritual gifts to transform lives worldwide. Tune in bi-weekly to Life Mastery with Monica Bay using your favorite podcast app. Don't miss out on your transformation.
Do you want to learn how you can stop sabotaging yourself? I'm here with Dr. Vern Morgan, and I think he's about to tell you just that.
There's great new technology which will allow you to change the old negative programming into very positive strategies. And we do that by using and delivering repetitively these strategies, bypassing the conscious mind and influencing the subconscious mind.
And to learn more, go to unitedintentions.org and click on Shop and make the authentic change today.
Welcome back to Mystic Mondays. I'm your host, Monica Bay, and we are talking about healing. We're talking about energy healing. We're talking about sound healing and how sound, the vibration of sound, can really affect your entire body and affect your entire life, actually. Affect your emotions, affect your thought patterns, affect your area, your immediate environment as well. And so we were talking earlier with Kevion about how sound helps to transmute and helps to balance. And those vibrations really help to balance you and help you basically just become more balanced. So that's what sound does. And I'm going to tell you a quick story about, for instance, how you can use sound therapy, because a lot of people aren't really sure, what to use it aside from just in general balancing. Again, like we said earlier, balancing your chakras and clearing a space. But very practically, sound healing is great for things like anxiety, things like depression, especially, emotional things, but also, like I was talking about earlier, pain, things like that. If you go to a sound bath and you come out of there just feeling better, and if you had any pain in places, that usually is either diminished or completely gone after you've experienced that. And so one thing that sound healing is great at, again, is anxiety. I'm going to give you a quick description or a quick story. I had a client one time that came in for, and this happens often, but it came in for, an anxiety issue, really had diagnosed an anxiety disorder, and was feeling very, very anxious, when she first came in. And so I chose to, before doing anything else, before doing any of my other techniques that I use, because I use a lot of techniques, I decided to start with sound healing. And so as I used, the sound healing, and like we were talking about earlier, the Tibetan singing bowl is the one that I use, and that is a little more forceful at breaking up energy. And so anxiety is an actual energy. It's important for you to understand that anxiety is an energy that sits within your body, and the energy actually starts to have a consciousness if it is allowed to fester for too long, and that's when you end up with an anxiety disorder, where it's running rampant within your body basically, and really taking over. And so when you use sound healing on that, it immediately dissipates, transmutes that energy, because it's really chaotic energy. And if you were to look at, the molecules or the smallest particles of energy that make up that anxiety, they're moving very, very fast. And because I'm a person who can actually see energy, so I can see it, and it's just moving at a very high, kind of chaotic vibration. And so when you actually use sound healing on that, it's able to disperse that energy, so it's not so high vibration. Again, it's a low vibration, but it's a chaotic vibration. And so, but they're moving very rapidly and bouncing up, against each other, basically. And when you do that, it breaks it up and it calms it down. So one way of stopping anxiety right in the moment, and this is an immediate effect, by the way, is using sound healing. So using sound healing on that client, she was able to calm down, and then she was able to receive, the rest of the healing that I did on her for that day. And in using others, since we're talking about anxiety, using other techniques that I use, I'm able to completely actually remove the perpetual issue of anxiety within people. So anxiety is something, again, that grows within you, and it's naturally generated by the body because it's actually part of your fight or flight response mode. And so it's something natural within the body, but because of the society that we live in, because of the dynamics in our society and in our lives every day, then we're always in that kind of fight or flight mode, and anxiety is able to fester way more than it's really truly naturally meant to. And so that's why a lot of people today have these anxiety issues. So if you have an anxiety issue, I would definitely recommend that you try sound healing, and it's something that you can do right away. So I'm going to show you this, and for those of you at home, I'm holding those of you who are just listening on the radio, I am holding what's called a tuning fork. So I have it here so you can kind of see it. Tuning fork. And this particular tuning fork is tuned to the frequency of Om. Now, Om, I'm sure you've all heard Om, but Om is the actual frequency of the universe itself. It's a very baseline frequency of the universe. It's very peaceful, and that's why I use this one a lot. So you can buy this, anywhere that sells healing tools, but I got this on Amazon. But anyway, there's a lot of different stores that you can get this on. And what it does is it comes with a little rubber mallet, and this is sound healing, but it's sound healing. I call it sound healing on the go. So if you buy one of these and you have maybe an anxiety issue or depression or maybe bipolar and you have mood swings, maybe, if you're female, maybe it's the time of the month and you need to change something. If you buy one of these, it's sound healing on the go. So basically all you do is you hit it against the mallet, and then it creates a vibration. And in the end of this, you can actually put against a chakra. You can put against, any chakra, and it'll balance that chakra. And it'll also, disperse energy if you're having pain somewhere as well. But this is a great way to really get you in, change your mood, change your emotional state in the moment, and it is instant. So again, energy healing and sound healing on the go. So get one of these. But yeah, sound healing is absolutely great for all of those things. And so I would definitely suggest that you do that. And then also, again, the healing that I do, I can actually remove the issue itself so that it doesn't continue to come back. So if you have any questions about that, you want to book a free consultation, you can go to monicabay.com and book your free consultation, and we can talk all about it. So next, I want to talk about also the sound healing, or the energy that sound has, or the effect that sound has on actual plants as well. So because we're talking about sound healing, I don't want to only talk about human beings, because again, this is energy that is, reverberates in the universe, and everything is energy. So sound healing also helps with plants. So say you have, plants that are not doing too well, especially if you use a singing bowl or something with sound healing that is tuned to the frequency of the heart chakra, because different bowls are tuned to different chakras, and those chakras are aligned with different notes, different musical notes. So if you tune if you're using the heart chakra specifically, that's the one I find that works so well. If you use the heart chakra bowl and you put that up against a plant that's not doing too well, you'll notice that the plant starts to grow more vibrantly. And they've actually done a lot of studies on plants, and that they can take emotion, that they react to emotion, they react to sound vibrations, they react to energy itself. And so it's important that you just think about that when you're working with plants, and even plant medicine, if you're using herbs and like rituals and the things that you do. If you can cleanse those plants also using sound healing, giving them a sound bath as well. So it works on so many different things. So sound healing is very, very just a great tool to use. Now, also really quick, I want to talk about music, because we were talking about music earlier, and just a real quick story. So my own personal story with music and realizing what that does. So I actually used to be a lead singer of a heavy metal band. Yes, I know it doesn't look like it. Everyone's surprised when I say that, but this is in college, is many, many moons ago. But I used to actually be in a heavy metal band, and it was like rah rah. I was actually growling in the in the microphone and stuff like that, and singing. But there was growling and all that. Not just rock music, but heavy metal, and I loved it at the time. But as I started to get more into my path and who I truly am, and getting a lot more zen, I now no longer. That used to be my favorite music. I now no longer listen to it because rock music, especially heavy metal, is the frequency of that music is very, very angry, very, very chaotic energy. So when you're listening to it, it actually affects your space. It affects your emotion, as we were talking earlier with Kivian. It really affects a lot within you and around you when you're constantly listening to a particular music that has those kinds of frequencies. So now my music is mostly Zen music. I like some techno music because that's happy music. The frequencies of that are a lot better. So the point is, pay attention to the music that you're listening to as well. Pay attention to even the words that are being used, because that's sound as well. And when we speak, and that's why we often talk about the power of our voice, the power of our thoughts, the power of what we say to ourselves, the narrative, the inner narrative that we give ourselves, but also what we say outside of ourselves. So there's a lot of people that may come to work and, oh, how's your day going? And they'll immediately go to something negative. Well, I was in traffic all day. And so when you're speaking those things, you're actually creating that negative vibration, and you're putting that in your atmosphere. And so then, that's what you begin to expect throughout your day, is negative things to happen. And you're actually keeping that negativity around you. So it's really important to make sure your thoughts are aligned with your goals, not what you don't want to happen, but what you do want to happen. Your words match that as well. So the things that you say, the things that come out of your mouth are more positive, because again, those are sound, those are vibrations, there's energy encoded in that, especially your intention when you speak. All of those things are important, and that could either heal, or it could either create ease or dis-ease. So it's important that you are focused on what you're saying and really be mindful about that, and mindful about the music that you listen to as well. And again, to bring back to the mystic message today about healing, extremely important that you focus on healing this time of year, because a lot of times, again, if you're focused on your New Year's resolutions, you need to make sure that you have the right foundation within yourself to be able to reach those goals, to be able to continue to do everything that you want to do in this world, which I know all of you are here to do great things. And 2020 has the potential to be a great year for everyone. As long as you're tapped in, as long as you're doing everything that you need to do, listening, following your intuition. That was the mystic message last week. Following your intuition and really focusing on what is holding you back, removing it so that you can move on. We don't need to manage things forever, okay? So that's what I have to say for today. Now, I want everyone, again, to have a great 2020, and this has been a wonderful episode, Sound Healing, so I hope you all got a lot out of it, and thank you for watching Mystic Mondays with Monica Bay. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching Mystic Mondays with me, Monica Bay, also known as the Healer in Heels on United Intentions Media Network. Want to see more of me? Be sure to follow me on all social media at The Real Monica Bay. Join me next time on Mystic Mondays as we continue to elevate and illuminate all things mystic. Until next time. Stay updated on all UI Media shows at www.uimediaapp.com.
The United Intentions Foundation and its associates take no responsibility for the opinions and statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests.